Michel Barnier has issued a plea for calm as the European Union and Britain enter the next phase of crunch negotiations over a post-Brexit trade agreement. The EU's chief negotiator told Sky News that the trading bloc needs to remain calm until the conclusion of post-Brexit trade talks with the UK. He also outlined the two major issues left to resolve in the negotiations with the UK. Mr. Barnier told Sky News, "We need calm and respect until the very end. The end will be when will we reach an agreement both on fair and free competition and on reciprocal access to fishing waters and the markets." Mr. Barnier is set to brief ambassadors of the 27 EU member states in Brussels later today. It comes after Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen issued a joint statement on Sunday evening outlining a further extension of trade talks between the UK and EU. Mr. Johnson and Ms. von der Leyen said, "We had a useful phone call this morning. We discussed the major unresolved topics. Our negotiating teams have been working day and night over recent days. And despite the exhaustion after almost a year of negotiations, despite the fact that deadlines have been missed over and over, we think it is responsible at this point to go the extra mile. We have accordingly mandated our negotiators to continue the talks and to see whether an agreement can even at this late stage be reached." This morning a former MEP and Belgian Deputy Prime Minister told Sky News that Michel Barnier must be allowed to negotiate without the influence of France and Germany. Chris Peters said, "I think the 27 EU member states are sticking together and that is a good situation. Sometimes I think negotiators are trying to divide the European Union, but at the moment it is not the case. The EU must have one position, one negotiator, Michel Barnier, and one team to negotiate. They should not be trying to discuss with Angela Merkel or Emmanuel Macron. That is not a good situation." The deadline for a trade agreement between the UK and the EU is rapidly approaching. The deal will need to be agreed upon before the December 31, 2020 deadline in order to be ratified by the UK and EU Parliament. The major sticking points throughout the final phase of the trade talks have been accessing British waters and the EU's insistence on a level playing field. Last week the UK's Prime Minister criticised the European Union for attempting to tie Britain's hands with the trade agreement.